Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another anime review. I just recently watched Witchcraft Works, which is a very woefully short anime, but I was just intrigued by the title in and of itself. And there are quite a few characters here. You've got Takakun being held by Ayaka, of course. And Kazane was on the cover. She's Ayaka's mom. And I was trying to see who else was on that cover. Renan, I don't see Renan. I don't see Mikage. I don't see Weekend. Of course, Weekend doesn't come in until later, spoiler alert. And I don't see Chrono Noir. But I see Ray and a lot of the Tower Witches. But it's very intriguing in and of itself. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Of course, I would love to cosplay as her because she's just totally badass. And I just think that she's amazing. And that's what the DVDs look like. And they're the Tower Witches. And then you've got the Workshop Witches. There are two categories. And there's Taka and Aya. Just going to show you the background. She's hilarious. I absolutely love her. You know, you're not supposed to like the Tower Witches when you first meet them due to their just the whole motivation for why they actually use magic and whatnot. There's a character named Medusa. There's also a character named Obama. He's a bully and he picks on Taka quite a bit because Aya is the princess of this school and she's the most popular one, yet she's always in the same class as Taka is. And they're always together, and then something changes. He's just a normal high school student and nobody really expects anything from him. He's kind of dense and she's super smart. She's absolutely brilliant. One might consider her a genius. And things start to change and it's really, oh, Tampopo, yeah, that's her name. Karaishi. That was the picture. That's the cat girl. They call her Animal Ear. She's on the cover and she's also in the middle there. She's, along with the Tower Witches, she is comedic relief, and a lot of things in the show just made me laugh out loud because I wasn't expecting them. And of course, Kamachi is Taka's mom, and she isn't really the recipient of too many attacks very well. She'll go into a very sullen state and collapse. It's so funny. It's just, there are a lot of things that you don't... Oh, Kasumi, yeah. Is Kasumi on... Yeah, Kasumi's on the cover, and she's Taka's sister, and she has a very unhealthy love... Well, it goes into that just a little bit. You think, oh, is that incest, or what are they doing there? Going into a kind of a fetish thing, but... it's downplayed quite a bit. It's subtle, but there really isn't a whole lot. There's not really fan service in. There's just really beautiful costumes to look at as far as cosplay ideas. The beginning and ending theme are just stellar. The animation itself is beautiful. I like Kasumi's teddy bear that she uses in battle. Pretty wicked stuff, and very, very, very very resourceful on her part, and very useful. And you wouldn't think that a teddy bear could initiate or receive that much damage, but actually that teddy bear is a hard hitter. It has a really nasty haymaker, and you learn about the rabbit soldiers, and they come into play first episode and think, what the heck is going on here? But it's really blended anime, and there are a lot of characters. I love the characters. The characters are very fleshed out and just weird and wonderful and eclectic and eccentric in their ways. There's one character who has a llama, and at one point in time, she goes into a pet cafe. They're specialty cafes in Japan, and it's very interesting in and of itself, because in America we don't really have that kind of thing. I wish we did. That would be a great merchandising opportunity. Take heed. Remember I said this. We could learn so much from Japanese culture here. But she goes in with some other fellow. They're part of the Star Clan. They're Tower Witches. You don't really hear that much about Star Clan witches, but they weren't really discussed too much in the anime. I wish they would go into that further, because we still have the Tower Witches and the Workshop Witches. And like I said, what separates the so-called good from the bad here, there really isn't a whole lot separating them. They both use magic, and later on they have to come together in order to face this evil force that's duped them all, and it's very intriguing. It's nice to see opposing factions come to an agreement and consensus to work as a unit, and I thought that's a very interesting way to go about solving a problem, especially with a pyro. Actually, would you consider her a pyromaniac, Weekend? I'm not sure. She's a totally nuts bomb lady. I guess you could consider her maybe a nihilist. I guess nihilistic. Iconoclastic, yeah. Iconoclastic, nihilistic, that kind of individual, just wanting to destroy everyone and everything, not caring who she tramples over to get it. She's evil. She's just a terrible character, and you just learn to hate her. She's the boss character. Kind of like at the end of a video game, it feels that way. But this really reminded me of Maho Sukatai, because Takakun, he wants to become Aya's apprentice, and she tells him her princess, and he says, "Well, aren't you getting that definition incorrect? You shouldn't be calling me your princess. I should be your prince." Well, he doesn't phrase it that way, but it's just so funny. It's just the way they address each other. It's just hysterical, and I loved it. It was just tremendously done. I forgot to show the back, and it has some shots from the anime in and of itself. It's talking Aya, and yeah, the rabbit army is actually shown. You think, oh crud, something's about to go down. And like I said, the ending theme in and of itself, it's you can't help but nod your head to the beat. It's just such a very driving melody, very catchy beginning theme. It really mixes 2D and 3D well with the whole flight sequence. You feel like you're riding side saddle. I liked how they did that. I thought, oh, how ladylike, how her mystique is even more emphasized in that pose in and of itself. She's very refined, and I like that. I like the fact that although she is very refined, she's just, she doesn't hold back. She's extremely strong, and she is pure fire. There's a reason why they call her the Fire Witch, and it's very interesting that there are elements involved, and there's some innuendo with Takakun's power, the white stuff as they call it. I thought that was hysterical. I thought, oh, we're going to go into that. Oh, please. That it was it wasn't bawdy. It was just very overt, but even he understood, despite the fact that he's not too bright. And as far as animes are concerned, I wish there was a second season. I don't think there is, but 2 thumbs way up, 5 stars hands down. It almost, I almost cried near the end, but I knew that there had to be a way out of it, and of course, there was. And Mikage, actually Mikage's niece, I think that's his niece, or maybe she's a cousin. She mentions that through Evermillion. I'm not going to go into Evermillion too much because she's a very interesting character. She's a goddess. I guess you could consider her a goddess. I like the fact that they all have familiars. Like Rey has a familiar. She comes out of this. She's elemental, so she comes out of the sludge and she can disappear into the sludge. And they always retreat or they blast off again like Team Rocket when they're hit. And it's so funny. They're just absolutely hysterical characters. It deals a lot with physical humor, like double takes, spit takes, and I just love stuff like that. It's just so reminiscent of a lot of the burlesque and vaudeville stuff I grew up with. I know that's really dating me, but that's what I'm used to. And Japan does this very well, but they also mix in a little bit of maybe what you would consider adult humor, but they do it in a very highbrow way, like in this part with the white stuff. It's just so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I was laughing so hard. It is one of those animes that you don't really know that much about, and you fall in love with it, and you like the characters and just the way they look and how they present themselves and how different they are from each other, and just how well they work together despite their differences. And you can see what bullying is like even in other cultures, and oh, they were so cruel to Takakun, all because Aya's the popular one, and they wanted nothing. They didn't want him to sully or defile the area. I thought, oh, they even called him an eyesore. I thought, good grief, they are really burning him. But later on he proves himself. I'm assuming that if there was ever a second season that he would be more appreciated, and he becomes student council leader, through a series of events I'm not going to explain. But it's just, although it's short, I absolutely adore it. And if you like Mahou Kitai, it's in that same kind of vein. Mahou Kitai was more fan service based. It was innocent in the way that they did it. Like I said, it's more about the whole, I want to learn how to do magic. How do I do this? I want to be your apprentice kind of thing. Teach me, senpai. And being woefully under-equipped and unprepared because your senpai, in this case, it was due to their past, and they go into that. And I thought, oh, this is so beautiful. Their relationship is just so pure and tremendous, and it transcends anything I've ever seen. And just how doting she is upon him, and the compromising situations that they find themselves in when he was sick and she got into a nurse's outfit that his mother had. I thought, oh my, awkward, but it's so funny. It's great, and absolutely tremendous, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who likes this sort of thing. She is big-breasted, I'll give her that. She's very buxom. And I could probably pull off Aya if I had a long black wig and the accoutrement. But, yeah, she's definitely one that you would not want to get into a fight with, because she'd definitely win. And I like the familiar she had. She had more than one familiar. Usually you see her with a Siamese cat, which is very common for witches, just having a cat nearby. But they all have different familiars that they carry along with them, especially the Tower Witches. So, and later on, you don't really hate the Tower Witches, and they end in a situation which is really quite comedic. I'm not going to say what it is, but it is in the situation that they're in, and especially what one of the other characters says to them is just so random, but just so clever in the way that it's done and executed. And like I said, the whole idea of flying and him learning by Aya being a tough teacher, I thought that's what she has to be, because Taka, I don't think Taka really knew how to defend himself or stand, because when Obama came and beat him up, along with the other bullies, I thought, oh, go get him, Obama. I had to laugh, and I thought, I was not expecting that. That threw me off a little bit, but that was funny too. I thought, oh, we're making a reference to American culture here. But it's interesting to see that whole cautionary tale about power and contracts and the repercussions thereof. It reminded me of the magicians in that way. Just when you don't know the power that you're unearthing or awakening, you think this could be bad. The after effect could be extremely destructive, and there could be entropy. Good Lord. And I mean, worlds could disappear. I thought, oh, please, no. I mean, it could get to that. But there was one character that didn't get the respect that he deserved because he seemed kind of dull. But again, my Megane senses. That would be Mikage. I thought Mikage was really neat, and how he... I'm not even going to say, because, like I said, I really don't want to give up... I don't want to blurt out too many spoilers for this particular anime, because it's such an interesting viewing experience, and the battle scenes, just transformations, they don't take that long. The final form of the characters is just incredible, and even the bad guys near the end, you think, yeah, you get what you deserve. All that kind of thing. Karma. That's all I gotta say. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, Tootsie.